Ceaseless Discharge can be found quite early in the game. He is accessible right after you defeat Quelaag. He is also a gatekeeper, which you need to kill to progress further into the Demon Ruins and Lost Izalith. If you are willing to cheese the fight, then there's actually no reason why you shouldn't face him right at that point. So right after you defeated Quelaag, the cheesy method will enable you to kill him, giving you a nice boost of souls. However, keep in mind that this still won't let you explore much further into the upcoming area, because that will only open up once you've placed the Lord Vessel. I will begin by showing you the cheesy method to kill the boss. The only way to do this very easily is the first time through. If you fail it the first time through, it becomes a bit more tedious, but more on that later. The first thing you do is enter the boss arena, and you will notice that the boss is not yet aggressive. You can just run through past him to the very edge, where there's an altar with a corpse on it. The moment you loot this corpse, the boss will become aggressive, and he will start by ripping off his arm. This causes a small explosion, and the best way to avoid taking damage from this is to just wait where you looted the corpse. Don't move until you see this explosion. Then you start running toward the fog wall. You don't need to damage the boss, just run to the fog wall. It's very important that you don't turn around or stop, just keep heading to the fog wall and the boss will follow you. Now once you are at the fog wall, the only way the boss can reach you is by jumping. And he has a very special animation for this, where he jumps and holds onto the ledge that you're standing on with one arm. You can now use this opportunity to attack the arm. The boss will not fight back, he will hang there indefinitely. Now you might think, okay, this is going to take a while, but actually, if you've hit him 5 times with any weapon at all, anything that does at least 1 point of damage, he instantly dies and you get the normal rewards that you would also get doing it the proper way. People have called this a glitch in the past, but this is a fully intended way to kill the boss. It's just a very easy method that you could use as soon as you can reach the boss, because it doesn't require any kind of damage or armor at all. You just need to be able to run past and survive. Now this method is quite reliable, but you can die if you're not running fast enough or if the boss gets a lucky shot on you. And once that happens, it gets a lot more tedious. You can still get this kill, but it's a lot more difficult, because this will only work if the boss aggroes onto you and starts running towards the fog gate from the very end of the arena. And if you enter the boss fight after you failed it once, he will immediately become aggressive. So you can't just wait at the fog gate, he will instead spam ranged attacks which will kill you. So what you need to do if you want to get this quick kill on a second attempt, or third, or so on, you need to run towards the altar again where you looted the corpse, and wait there for the boss to get to you, and then again run back to the very beginning. This way you've basically reset the boss and he will once again do the jump. Otherwise he will not, and you will not be able to get this kill. But now let's suppose you don't want to cheese the boss, instead looking to fight him properly. In order to do this, you just need to aggro him. You could loot the corpse, again this will make the boss aggressive immediately, but it is a little more convenient to damage him. Just use whatever ranged means you have available, an arrow, a throwing knife, anything, it doesn't matter how much damage it is. And he will again become aggressive. The advantage is that he won't stay aggressive if you fail and have to try again. You will once again have him be passive when you enter the fog gate. Once he is aggroed, he will start hitting the area in front of him with various attacks, if you're quite close. If you're further away, he will use a much more dangerous fire blast, so I would strongly recommend staying close to him, even if you intend to use ranged attacks, because his close range attacks are more easy to avoid. You can also boost your fire resistance further by using the Flame Stoneblade Ring. Even the attacks that he uses that don't have an immediate fire effect to them do actually deal some fire damage, so the Flame Stoneblade Ring will help you out against all his attacks, even the ones that don't have fiery particles to them. Keep in mind that when you're dodging this boss, his hitboxes are notoriously rubbish, so the collision of his attacks is much larger than the actual visual effect of them, which means the dodging is very difficult to predict. It just takes some experience knowing when you have to roll, because again the attacks have much wider areas of effect than they should have. When you're staying reasonably close to the boss, he will usually do a single slam. After this, his arm is resting on the ground for a while and you have an opportunity to get a nice few swings in. You do not have to worry about conserving your stamina here, because when he withdraws his arm, it gives you enough time to regenerate your stamina to be able to roll another attack. So just swing away even if you waste your last stamina. There is no worry here about not being able to dodge anymore. He also has a double slam, which is a little more annoying. It has a faster wind-up, so that's how you can recognize it. And of course you need to roll twice, because it has decent tracking on it, if you want to avoid the damage. Again, you can also try blocking, but these attacks are not easy to block. As a final note, the boss is entirely immune to fire damage. So if your character relies on pyromancy, you will need to find some alternate means to do damage. I would recommend using the cheesy strategy I described earlier, especially if you're mostly focused on pyromancy and don't have any strong weapons whatsoever. It is probably the easiest to just lure him to the end, make him do the jump, and then punch him 5 times. This will do 1 damage each punch, and he will die. Using a weak weapon will make it much more tedious than using the cheesy method. With 4200 HP, Ceaseless Discharge is pretty tanky, and has no particularly strong weaknesses. Magic damage is slightly stronger than lightning damage, and fire damage doesn't work at all. But there is no shortcut to dealing a ton of damage aside from the cheesy strategy, of course. So it is quite a tanky boss, and it will take you a bit of time depending on your upgrade level to take him down. However, he doesn't have a very varied moveset, and he can't really get onto the platform you're on. He just does the slam attacks, which there are a few of. But eventually you will have his moveset figured out, and then it won't be a difficult time fighting the boss at all. As a reward, you receive 20,000 souls, and the lava lake below dries up, meaning you can access further bits of the area. Again, not much further if you haven't placed the Lord Vessel, but still, there's a little bit to explore. And after the cutscene is played, you will also see that you received a homeward bone and a humanity. I hope this has been informative and you learned some useful strategies. Let me know what you thought. Have a good day. Bye bye.